All right, let's dive into the world of Ken Follett's incredible novel, Fall of Giants. We're heading back to Europe right before the First World War. Now, this was a world of emperors, of kings, of aristocrats, just immense power and unbelievable privilege. But underneath all that gold and glitter, the ground is starting to shake. The giants who rule this old world, they're about to fall. This quote from a German diplomat, Walter von Ulrich, just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures this feeling that was growing at the time, this sense that the lives of millions of ordinary people were basically just pawns in a game being played by a few powerful and frankly out-of-touch old men. This really sets the stakes for everything that's about to happen.
So, to really understand this world on the edge, we've got to look at its two extremes. And we're going to start at the very, very bottom. We're going to a Welsh mining town in 1911. This is life below ground.
On June 22, 1911, the very same day King George V is getting crowned over in London, a boy named Billy Williams is celebrating his birthday. He's turning 13. And the very next day, his childhood is officially over. He starts his life's work down in the coal mines.
This advice from his father, it's not just a nice little tip. It's a survival tactic. It's so practical, it's chilling. Life down here is not sentimental. Breakfast isn't something you enjoy. It's fuel for incredibly dangerous, grueling work. Every single calorie, every grain of salt is all about getting through the ordeal ahead.
Billy's first day is, well, it's a nightmare. It's a brutal initiation. First, he's dropped 800 meters into total darkness in this rickety cage. Then, an overseer plays a cruel prank on him, giving him a faulty lamp so he's left completely alone in the pitch black. He literally has to fight off rats trying to steal his lunch. And just to keep from screaming in that terrifying silence, he sings hymns to himself. This isn't just a job, it's a test of everything you've got, right from the very first hour. Okay, so from the total darkness of the mines, let's pivot completely. We're heading into the dazzling light of the world above. This is the opulent, totally carefree life of the aristocracy. And it's all embodied by one man, Earl Fitzherbert, the guy who owns the very land those mines are on.
And why is Earl Fitzherbert, or Fitz, so rich? Well, he just happens to be the 9th richest man in all of Britain. And he makes all that money from the very same coal that Billy Williams is risking his life to dig out of the ground. His entire fortune is built on the sweat and the danger happening right under his feet.
And this just shows you the insane gap between their worlds. While Billy is down in the dark fighting rats for a piece of bread, Fitz's biggest problem, his main anxiety for the day, is a potential social screw-up. He's about to host King George V, and the crisis of the hour is a shortage of fruit. I mean, the problems these people face are just on another planet. Earl Fitzherbert's big issue? Finding oranges. Problem solved with a single phone call. His wife, Princess Bee, gets pricked by her maid's pin while getting her hair done, so she just casually stabs the maid with her own hat pin as a lesson. Meanwhile, Fitz's sister, Maud, is mad she wasn't invited to the party, so she just shows up anyway. It's a world of totally trivial worries and just shocking casual cruelty. But here's the thing. These two worlds, the one above and the one below, they are not separate. Not at all. They are dangerously, intimately connected. The whims and decisions of the powerful have direct and often deadly consequences for the powerless, and they are about to collide in a huge way. Just think about this. On the very same day, Billy Williams starts his life's work at 13, dropping into darkness and danger. Earl Fitzherbert hosts the King of England, worrying about 1892 vintage champagne and flirting with a housemaid. I mean, the contrast could not be more extreme, and it really just lays bare the massive tension of this whole era.
And here it is, the critical link. That housemaid Fitz is flirting with down in the wine cellar? That's Ethel Williams, Billy's intelligent, ambitious, and beautiful older sister. She is the bridge between these two worlds that are on a collision course, and she has definitely caught the Earl's eye.
So now, at that very same royal dinner party, the story zooms out from the personal to the political. The polite dinner conversation starts to drift towards the rising tensions across Europe, and this young German diplomat, Walter von Ulrich, he just lays it out there. The Kaiser's ambition, signaling the beginning of a massive naval arms race. And Walter just keeps going. It's almost like he's ticking off the ingredients for a world war, right there at the dinner table. He calmly explains how every major power has its own agenda. Austria-Hungary and Russia both want the Balkans. France is dying to get back the territory it lost to Germany. Everybody wants a bigger piece of the pie.
And then comes the punchline. It's this moment of incredible dramatic irony. After laying out all the reasons a war is pretty much inevitable, Walter concludes with a completely straight face that Germany is the only non-aggressive power, so of course, war is impossible. The men in that room, the future leaders and generals of the war, they completely convince themselves everything's fine, totally blind to the catastrophe they are all sleepwalking towards. So now we jump forward a little to 1914. The political tensions are simmering, and just as the entire world is trembling on the edge of a global explosion, a literal one is about to rock this little town of Aberowen. And it's a terrifying metaphor for everything that's coming. The date is set. The place is fixed. In the cold of January 1914, deep, deep beneath the earth in the Aberowen mine, the first real tremor of the fall is about to be felt. And then it happens. A methane gas explosion rips through the mine. A deep, heavy boom, followed by a blast of air that signals absolute disaster. It is the moment every single miner fears. But here's the thing. This wasn't just some random accident. This was a disaster that was absolutely waiting to happen, caused by pure greed and neglect. The elevator was damaged. The emergency ladders were rusted out. The legally required breathing masks, the cabinets were totally empty. The emergency water pipes were too small, and the ventilation fans couldn't be reversed. Every single safety system had been allowed to fail. What happens next is just a tragedy on top of a tragedy. Miners are scrambling for the breathing equipment, and they find nothing. And now 16-year-old Billy Williams and his friend Tommy Griffiths, they try to improvise, pushing a water cart towards the fire. And in this incredible moment of bravery, Billy runs right into the flames to drag out his friend's son, Mickey. But it's too late. Mickey's already dead. A heroic act made completely useless by the company's failures. That explosion at Aberwin, it's so much more than a local tragedy. It's a preview. It's the first major crack in the foundation of this old world. A small, violent taste of the industrial-scale death and destruction that is about to swallow the entire continent. The horror in that mine killed 8 men. 8 families were shattered. But that was just a tremor. The earthquake was still coming. A war that would be fought with new machines and old ideas. A war that would kill 20 million people, shatter empires, and change the world forever. So all of this leaves us with a really heavy question. What the story shows us is that whether it's in a neglected coal mine in Wales or on the battlefields of Europe, it's almost never the powerful who pay the real price for their own ambition and their failures. It's the ordinary people, the Billy Williamses of the world, who are the first to be crushed when the giants fall.